Hello everyone, welcome to our broadcast. Today our topic is GateLive bonus task. Yes, Eclipse is Ethereum's first Solana virtual machines SVM. So stay tuned and keep watching here. I'm going to share the information about this topic. So let's see what's the deep informations are there. So first of all, thanks to all of you who's joined my stream. So now we are going to start our topic. So now here, as you can see here, the ES Eclipse is the Ethereum first Solana virtual machines. Okay, so now you have to see the welcome to Lucifer. Walk and see gate user Musa. Thank you everyone who's joining here. So now you have to see this. We are going to share the information about the ES today's topic. And first of all, you have to see the Eclipse is the Ethereum's first Solana virtual machines (SVM), and the Eclipse combines the best pieces of the modular stack with Ethereum settlement and SVM, the execution, and the Celestia for the data availability. Each layer of the XD's architecture is the best in the class and the combined, and the results in the unstoppable performance and Eclipse is backed by the leading investors, including the placeholder VC, Hack VC, and DBA, Polychain, and the Tribe, and the Verify, as well as industry leaders, including the Mustafa AI, Bassem Celestia, Taron, Chitra, GateLive, Gauntlet, Robot VC, and Anatoly, Yahoo, Wenko, Solana, and Zanyar, Sherwani, and Jito, and Santiago, Santos, Verify, Ariane, Watkins, Sentry, Interesting, Hustle, Flashboots, and others. Okay, so here the project introduction. So yeah, this is total stack rewards is 5 million ES and the binding periods also. And welcome the no time Halidaj me and great users. Thank you everyone who's joining it. So first of all, his APR is 3.05%. Individual stacking cap is 10 BTC and price pool RD cap is 2083.33 EAS, and the individual RD reward cap is 83.33 ES, and the participants are 3,892. The total stack here 2,860.96132719 BTC. And next is the mining period is 10 days, and the total was is here now you can see here. So let's get started. Other topics, but it's official website and then it's white paper. So I'm going to give you the more information about this topic. So let's get started. First of all, we are going to explore the website of the ES. Okay. Welcome, Ayla, Angel, Gate user. Thank you everyone who's joining us. So now you have to see the Eclipse is the Solana or on Ethereum. So here, Ethereum's first SVM L2. So Eclipse mainnet. So here is the wait. Okay. This is Solana's. Sorry, it's Solana's. So next is
I
the
wish we
world's
could know we're in
largest
the good old
use
days
and
before
assets
we've
for
actually left
Ethereum
them.
liquidity, and Ethereum has $80 billion in the stable coins and $66 billion in TVL, and second largest asset in the crypto ETH Ethereum with a cap and uh, market cap of the $450 billion, and the push on chain with the Eclipse and DeFi, gaming, consumer, and the on-chain frameworks, and the next generation 2D engines and the existing identity layers. So these are the partners. Next is the build on the Eclipse, and you have to see the resources. The Eclipse network and the Ethereum SVML2, the combines the best of the Ethereum and the Solana. So it's where the most performant execution environment meets the unparalleled liquidity. And next, it's the resources. Let's check out the resources of this information. Okay. Next is the news. You have to see this if you wanted to stay updated. So then join, check out the um, his news and blogs, everything. Okay, because of stay updated. Okay, stay tuned and keep watching and stay updated from this project. So that's why you have to be carefully check out every day the informations and news and the blogs about the ES. So welcome to Angela. Thank you for joining here, dear. So everyone, kindly I request to everyone. So who's joining my streams, please kindly drop your thoughts in the comment section. Chit chat here. Feel free to ask anything, and I will try my best to give you the answer to all of you. Okay. So next is the great investors and the angels. So here's the Apollo, Mirana, Apollo, so Portal Venture, Mabino, and the Mirana, the placeholder, Polychain, and Parapy, GSR, and distributed global robot ventures, and the Tribe Capital, Fabicide, DBA, and the GSR. So join the Equilab community, then. Okay. Welcome to Discovery. Thank you for joining here my stream here. And how are you? Welcome, Miriam, and time to make money, everyone. Thank you for joining here. So now you have to see the Agilabs performance tests. Benjamin Levis, live sheets, and Alexander Peterson, the Olivier Desenfants, and the Eclipse Labs team. So March 19, 2025. So abstracts, we have the witness tremendous amounts of the computational power be becoming widely available. So the super to a large extent by the needs of the LLM training and the interface inference. Thank you, the discovery. Thank you for your comments and oh my God. Thanks for your you gifted me. Thank you. Thanks a lot, uh, Discovery. Thank you for also joining and also supporting me. Your support and appreciation is lost to me. And I don't know how can I return this gift to you. Your kindness is too much. You are loyal. That's it. Okay. Thank you. It's a big applause for you that you are joining my stream and also support me and appreciate me every time. Thank you. Next, we have to see the blockchain as a field has thus far not the benefited from the availability of the hardware such as the news and welcome to Fatma, new name. Thank you for joining here. So now you have to see the of hardware such as the new powerful GPUs and the various other hardware acceleration techniques and such as the FPGAs and the smart NIC, the ETC and the Eclipse. So we are the aiming to the correct this oversight and these high performance computing the devices utilize the effectively could increase it. So now you have to see this the Eclipse performance basis focus on the building the most performant SVM layer to the blockchain with a new SVM the client we call the TSVM musician and the workload and non interface and dynamic scaling and leveraging the unique freedoms of and 12 sorry L2 which apart from the typical L1 design constraint. Thanks to all Gate users who are joining my stream. Now you have to see this. I'm going to share the information about the sorry yes. Okay, so stay tuned and keep watching here. Um, Here, so now you have to see the age locking patterns that hinder GVMS design, the principal component, and specific design principles include. So the network, near line speed, and processing the probabilistic and the execution tree confirmations and performance based on the sequencing and the application specific sequencing and the latency optimizing transitions routing and next is the runtime so the self the improving runtime and welcome the regards and the gate users thank you for joining here and hi hello how are you and the reinforcement and the learning the computational abstractions and hybrid concurrency for the resource non-interference and the hotspot where the hardware the ping the scheduler next is the database so this access the minimizing the sequencer drive and catching the hotspots where the parallel NVMe the array the hardware accelerated SSD the aligned accounts and database and fast state communicates for light clients. Welcome the lonely tree, Merriman, the gate users. Thank you for joining everyone. So next is the introduction. So let's get started. The introductions of yes, the goal of the Eclipse is to deliver the most performant SVM layer to L2 the network, although the SVM that stack is already performance oriented, desirable desirable. So starting the points and we take the further advantages of the unique opportunities that the Aculeps and where it's Aculeps it's as a layer 2 so indeed, an optimistic the roll up and effectively separates the integrity concerns from the performance and the considerations. The former are satisfied with the help of the fraud and the performance and consideration, and the tour is suspected of the violating computational integrity. Similarly, the concerns around the censorship of the resistance can be addressed with the help of the force transitions and escapes hatches so long as the underlying data availability DA layer is able to keep up with the throughput and the fees that roll off the clock over a cover is able to keep up with the throughput. The next you have to see this Eclipse we follow these guideline principles for the new Eclipse sheets as we have defined. Welcome the Angel users. Thank you for joining here, everyone. So now you have to see that we follow these guideline principles for the new Eclipse GSVM client and a software hardware co-design who argue that the careful software hardware the co-design truly unlocks the performance and potentials of the modern blockchains in the rest of this document. So we will illustrate this with the numerous examples ranging from the smart NIC devices with the sport of near line speed execution. Next is the cross-rail layer optimization. So our goal is to co-design the major three components of the GSVM and the client and the networking runtime and the storage to fully take advantages of the cross-layer the optimization opportunities. For example, performance driven and the sequencing the can reorder the trusty to that single the story back in the pre-batch. Next is the workload, non interference. The design principle of the Eclipse is to deliver the ability to run applications without interference. If a DAX is experiencing a significant load, it should not adversely undermine the ability of other users to play an non on-chain game. The principle of non-interference aligns with the approach of local fees markets in Solana. So this principle implies that the isolated spikes for the some hotspot and some applications do not degrade the performance for all the users. Welcome the gate users. Thank you for joining here. After this project, I will tell you what's the entry point of the BTC and ETH. First of all, I want to complete my task. Then I will tell you definitely. So, thank you for joining here. And how are you? So next is the dynamic scaling and the chain elasticity. Our goal is to provide the enough together with the demand, and this can be the accomplished by the dynamically adding the more execution cores or provisioning additional storage and VME when the active performance test is. Welcome the Nick who's joining my stream. Thank you. Next, you have to see this the CPU, the features Solana, Polkadot, and Near. So CPU. Next is the hardware requirement for the nodes on Solana, Polkadot, and the Near. So new demanding applications go live. This is a form of the horizontal scaling that can be satisfied with more capabilities allocated across the layers of the system, including the nodes, execution cores, and the storage drivers. And the goal is to deliver a new GFVM, the clients for the Eclipse rollups based on these principles and taken together. These four principles guide every layer of the Eclipse VM uh, client. Next is the limitation of the layer blockchains. L1s and the similarity to those who think of the operating system in terms of the hardware that was available in the 1980s and blockchain design have been largely blocked by the what is possible in the layer one blockchain space, and where the validator nodes and run client of software on a variety of the operating systems and the hardware platforms, and the, perhaps even some different clients implementations and using a wide era. The BFT consensus in particular, we observed two major limitations and in typical layer design. And thanks to everyone who's joining my stream. Welcome to Product Crypto and thank you for joining here, everyone. So consequences focus wide area. The consequences where it's is usually the focus of the performance oriented work, in part because the item the time to achieve the consensus in a wide area setting. So next, overall reliance on the generating hardware. So although they require a fairly significant amount of the computational capacity as in gigawatts, it is the database debatable. That we show that out of the box, Solana does not use the availability CPU cores. Next is the why do we need the giga computers? So now here's the opportunity to efficiently the not to maintain. Why do we need the giga computer? So the choice of the performance metric for it, which we will optimize, is important. To some optimizations and will impact some metric more than the others. And latency, the first and the most obvious metric is response latency. It is the more one aspect of the performance, and that user experience moves directly. Latency is situational. Next is the transition throughout per transition per second is the most widely discussed metric. This metric is universal and composable. With the most widely discussed metric, this metric is universal and composable. Mm, Welcome the impact of the world and for joining here, everyone. So now you have to see the transition for our typical base measure in the transactions per second. TPS is the most widely discussed metric. This metric is universal and composable, where each blockchain component has a specific volume. Next is the Anchor is the most popular and the officially endorsed framework for the writing Solana's programs. It is safe to assume that the vast majority of the Solana programs will utilize the Anchor framework. So now you have to see the beyond gas. TPS is the certainly have to when thinking about the consensus performance and specifically the rates and research such as the statistic by the Babel and AI and the hot stuff algorithm family and reveals TPS are nearing the 1 million with the mysterious highlights. Next is the beyond smart contract chain use the metering to both compensate infrastructure operator and the ensure that on-chain the programming the determinate and also the term gas is popularity and ensure the on-chain farming time. All the gate users, thank you for joining here and everyone who's on the stream. So now you have to see the smart contract change, use the metric to both compensate infrastructure operator and ensure that on-chain programs terminate. So various methods are employed in systems like pool card dot. And smart contract chains use the metering to both compensate infrastructures operating and ensure that on-chain programs terminate. So although the term gas is the popular in the Ethereum ecosystems, and uh, we will borrow the term from Solana and refers to the compute units. And next, you have to see the various methods are employed in systems like the Polkadot, which utilizing the market being marking in the Polkadot networks and what's a critical role in the regulating. Okay, welcome to High Ambition. Thank you for joining here and your appreciation. Thank you. Thanks so much. And Astrid, thank you. And how are you, Mr. High Ambition? And I hope so. You have a safe journey, Mr. And various methods are employed in the systems like the Polkadot, which utilizes the being the benchmarking and in the Polkadot network, so ways abstract the markets for the computational resources used, ensuring. Welcome the High Ambition and Nikolai. Thank you for joining here. So now you have to see the various methods. And today we are discussing the new topic. Yes. So now you have to see the although they are not the directly linked to the particular the means are block the validations. Although they are not directly linked to the particular units like the CPU time to memory, and they symbolize the overall computational and the part and to avoid exceeding the block limits and the Polkadot implements and avoid estimator method of the forecast, the computational expenses of transactions and before they occur, the transitions are pre-assigned the estimated weights that if the actual weight surpasses the estimate, the transitions might to be declined or incur the extra fees. This weight based fees model allows for the uh, extending the computation to an income cost. So next is the beyond gas expects like the custom parsing for the database access the operation, the AVN and the computational units, the CUS in the Solana services similar the purpose as gas in the Ethereum, so but with key differences in the other calculations and the data detailed space structures. For example, the we make many important details related to the things like the rent, referring the entrusted readers to the sum. So the similarly to what is found in other metering approaches. So now you have to see the GFVM design principles towards the Giga computer. So the now you have the GFVM, the design principles towards the Giga computers, and beyond the three overarching the principle that contribute to the performance of active. So first is software hardware co-design. Second is the cross-layer optimization. Third is the workload non-interference, and the fourth is the dynamic scaling. So network, the reader is referred to the section 3 for the more details and near line speed processing and the probability ballistic, the execution pre confirmation, and next is the performance based sequencing and the application specific sequencing and the latency optimizing transition routing and the runtime. The reader is referred to the section 5 for the more details. So now you have to towards the gig computers and the self-improving runtime that relies on the reinforcement, the learning, conventional abstraction, and the hybrid currency to the concurrencies to the sport transactions, resource and non-interference in the hotspot where the hardware of in the scheduler, the utilizing hundreds of the cores resulting in the computationals and non-interference. Next, the database, so the disk access minimizing the sequences drive and it catching. And the hotspots where the parallel NVM, the array backend, the supporting data non-interference, and the hardware accelerated SSD aligned the accounts database. And next, you have to see the paper organization. So now you have to see these transitions per second. And next, the piece four, you have to see the contentions, the analysis of analysis on a statistic, the benchmark, the number of the accounts, and between 10 and the 100 results in the significance degradations and TPS and does not depend on the number of the threads. And now you have to see this the fast state commitments for the light clients and paper organizations. And now you have to the XLS performance features. Is in a real point incident. So next is towards the greater levels of the parallelism. So in this section, we expand on what we believe to be one of the key areas of the opportunity to increase the performance of our GSVM. So Solana offers a significant degree of the parallelism compared to the most of the blockchains and how remote effort is needed. And so other to bring us to the gigacomputer. Next is the inevitable coin incidents and performance issues are not just a critical considerations. They have a real world cost to the health of the Solana ecosystems and the network also. It's a spike in demand of the Solana chain in January 2025. So the Trump and dollar and the millennial tokens are issued on the network. So the meme coins launched the leverages Meteora's dynamic liquidity market makers and next is the dollar meme coins experience a dramatic surge in the value climbing from the $10 on the morning of January to 18th to a peak of the $74.59 the following day. And next is the price of the Sol briefly plummeted to $200 and approximately $50 below. So the its price on the centralized exchanges is price disparity activated the arbitrage booths also. The next unblocking more parallelism. So the more is the resulting congestions results in degraded keto validators and performances during the window of the degradation and the degradations and traders using keto tips and they quickly adapted to the using priority fees and the median priority fees that jumped 5,000 to extra non-vote transactions and accounts for 66% in compute units hard block sold about 50%. Okay, it's an unlocking the more powerful tool has a transitions communicative and the optimism currency, hybrid concurrency, the near line rate or transitions processing and towards the line. Welcome to crypto DZO for 01, sorry, and the crypto to DZ. And again, users, thank you for joining here. So the filtering, the falling transactions, and the transactions key applications. Where's the line speed processing for the GSVM? So now you have the Tron, Young, Sellerfied, and the Mihrabi, and the Tau. And next, efficient signature verification and the state profile prefetching. Pre-confirmation says the first one is the inclusion pre-confirmations, which is the mostly any indications that the transition is valid and B and that's it. We also introduced the notion the of the probabilistic the executions pre-confirmations also. Next is the smart NICs and FPGA. For details examinations for this era, please see the service by Nicole EDAR and DU. The do the continuous the enhancement of the programmable hardware platforms and particularly the FPGAs as a sports that the continuous of the. So now has towards line speed processing of GSVM. So the create issues transfer and the refer by executing these operations directly on the FPGA. Priority-based questing. So now mostly as we have the today's first use the first come first service basis and approaches to the transitions questing the sequencing and frequent consequences of this approach is that the credit advance is the reducing latency to the sequencers and through the standard high frequency and the trading techniques that to the probability as a transition schedule, so the root first is would reduce, reduce the latency and maximize the resource utilization as well as the ordering. There's now you have the dispatcher schedule, execution, co-executions, or the hotspot island. First important observation comes to the GFVM is that the CPU cores have the become the somewhat of the commodity and the hotspot island. The first important observation when it comes to the GSM is that CPUs and cores have to become the somewhat of the community research service grade. Next is the priority. So the priority based rail time schedule. So the each island has a motivating example to consider inspired by the railroad using a popular 8 ensuring the heavy volume and the world contain game at generating the numerous small transitions and actual in figure 9 you have to see already. Next is the priority based rail time scheduling. The each island has its own scheduler whose job is to guarantee that all the transitions are executed as fast as possible as there's we introduced the idea of the translating priority phase to the deadlines and formulate problems as that of the scheduling sporadic. Next, a motivating example to consider are scenarios inspired by the real world usage of popular AMM, the incurring the habit volume and the viral on-chain game generating numerous. And next, you have to see the dynamic scaling. So the generating purpose Iceland is required at all times to process the rest of the transactions and the scheduled jobs on this Iceland will be the much more involved as it has to be as satisfied for the employee. And so activity resulting from the game does not have any associated priority fees and as user only care about the transactions landing the eventually. So the next is the dynamic scaling. So the generating a general purpose Iceland is required at all the time of to process the rest of the transactions. The scheduled jobs on this Iceland will be the much more involved as it has as the concluding by combining the clustering and the real-time scheduling, we solve the multiple problems that would be a great deals harder to solve with a single schedule. So within the an Iceland, the real-time scheduling can guarantee the QS for all the transactions as well as implementing the logical priority lens for the transactions with the high fees and the further more. So dynamic scaling allows us to adapt to the current load on the networks and the reserve execution resources for the applications. And next, the hotspot Iceland provide a non-interference guarantee and memory access pertaining to the specific applications are limited to specific ports. And next is we are going to it's complaint we are discussing. Next is the optimizing the runtime for giga compute. So now you see the having addressed the traffic ingestions and the nearline rate processing in the section and we now turn to runtime optimization beyond that initial pipeline speed this action is contracts optimization application applicable to the components of the transactions processing pipeline beyond the transaction. Next is the runtime considering the execution runtime of the Solana is an interesting piece of the engineering the one that gives athletes a strong performance baseline so they usually deal with the purpose of the being fast and active with inherits. So next you have to optimize the runtime for the giga compute and the runtime considerations also. My God, how is it? It's not empty. Oh my God. So welcome to Legend Throat and Crypto. Thank you for joining in everyone. So now, hi, Mr. Crypto, and how are you? And next, we are just see this WASM and the PPF for the foster execution. There are the good reasons to the consider. So the consider the replacing the built in the Solana BPF execution environment and the RBAPF the way with an exciting execution environment such as the was some time. So the some have the observed that the WASM the byte code and executes more slowly than the BPF. So for example, the from Dressa, the demonstrated that the startup time so with the virtual machines. The situation is a little more complex from the hang demonstrate that the all WS and the runtimes, but one more able to outperform the RBPF in the Garrett's adults and the prime's workload. Good evening. No, 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 no. It's a good afternoon, Mr. Crypto Champion. It's not good evening. It's a good afternoon. And also welcome here to both of you. Just only the crypto and crypto champion you are joining, but straight that other your team members are not. They are not joining. Also the ignore it. Ignore it. Good to see you, Mr. Crypto Champion. You are fine. That's great. Yes, the crypto eyes catch it. The next is the faster hardware support. So all the choice of the PPF is motivated by the performance and is largely corroborated by the studies such as the Hang, as we believe that there are still many optimizations to be done. So we find out that there is a established working group, the institution by the W3C and in next is the barrages. So also the main aim of WSM is too much, it's too much heavy. I think it's strong. Okay. Both of you, please drop your time, string time. I will definitely join. I will try my best to join the stream. I said, and I will try my best. Thank you, Mr. Crypto. You are a really an outstanding person who's really appreciate and support us. Thank you for joining here. And unlike the designs, you have to see the order one approach that leads to the faster nodes and the removes the overhead of the sun. Sorry, underlying the operating system is unlike yours. And for example, you have to see the figure 11 shows. And now by minimizing the OS overhead and sorry, unique kernels that allocate more. As complained in the sections, we have the presented a range of the attractive options that have to be to do with improving the execution environments for running the programs on Eclipse and optimizing storage for the Giga Compute, the ROX DB, the database of the choice for the Solana validations and level DB, and are among the most popular database systems that use in the blockchain implemented, and the key value stored in the flash memory. And next, it's here is the performance concern. SSDs are known to be the significantly faster than wireless storage devices such as the HDDs and the tabs. So, however, the SSDs themselves do not have the homogeneous performance, and there can be the significant differences in the latency and the concurrencies and capabilities of SSDs and some devices such as the ZNAND and NVMe and SSDs are known as to be able to achieve the ultra low latency and are therefore often the rapid to all devices. So now you have to see the hash tables. Hash tables as an approach to encompass and a diverse range of the solutions all in part on a shared concept, and they hold the tables of the keys associated with the addresses of their respective values, which is why they are sometimes known as the mapping tables. And the custom hardware support for the Kiwi store. So the Young is introduced an innovative the key value store is tailored for the scalable high performance data processing and specifically in environments with the intensive road insert and the scan operations, while the traditional KVS systems often face. And next, you have to see the hardware optimized the dynamic B plus 3 with cache where the hash So now we have the data structure in Ethereum. Ethereum has been at the forefront of the sum of the innovation in specific Merkle practice, Patricia tree, and the efficient key value storage and the perfect compression and the efficient updates and the clear data sports and the past lookups and next, you have to see these Polkadot. The recent studies in the Polkadot frameworks are advancing the development of the Merkulis and the data structures aimed to optimize the SSD's performance. Next is the Avalanche. So now you have to see the fireword key value database by the Avalanche. The Avalanche is custom-made of so next is the role of the authenticated the data structures. So the authenticated data structures are such as the market trees and their warranties as a serve as the backbone of many blockchain systems. As the agentic AI, one of the most exciting applications of LLMs is agentic AI, artificial intelligence systems that can be independently make the decisions and the take the actions to achieve the specified goals, adapting as circumstances change. These systems, you have to see this information is too much, so I have to be sharply do that. So GFSVM is for trustless AI, the computational demands is run even basic AI models and AI models that run to the current blockchain frameworks in efficient, effective, and next is the gaming. So there are the multiple uses for the blockchain gaming. The most widespread applications is the creations of the irrefutable and non-figurable, fungible the records on chain, and for tracking in game purchases and the achievements. However, not much the computations power, not spare space efficiencies ultimately. Hello, Mr. Crypto MacBook. Thank you for joining here. And how are you, Mr. Crypto MacBook? Next is the MMORPG and blockchains and the hosting gameplays on chain for the massively multiplayer, the on-chain online games. And it's a blockchain based MMORPG on chain gameplay that ensures that all game machines and rules and the transactions and transparent and the fair verifiable and the on chain nature of the game. And by hosting gameplay on chain MMORPGs eliminate the need of the centralized services. Have a nice day to you. Same to you, Mr. MacBook. When you are streaming, please kindly tell me about your stream time. I will definitely join. Here are the references. You have to see this. These are all the references of the Eclipse performance are rapidly passes pass out because of the time is too much. Oh my God. Yeah, I will definitely join you, Mr. Crypto MacBook. And kindly, Mr. Crypto, I tell me when you are streaming, your stream time. You have to drop in the comment section. I will definitely join your stream also. Okay. Next is what is the Gate Launch Pool? So the Gate Launch Pool is an innovative stacking and airdrop platforms where the users can stack GT, BTC, ETH, and USDT or other tokens to early airdrops of the hot and the new coins with low entry barriers and the high PR. It's the ultimate platform for effortlessly capturing market opportunities. Then next, how can I participate in the Gate Launch Pool? So the first log into your Gate accounts and then navigate to the Gate Launch Pool page and then choose the project you want to participate in and then stake your assets. Next is which coins can I stake in the Gate Launch Pool? The token eligible for the participation will announce the mining announce on the mining page of the each project. So please visit the cross pending page of the Gate Launch Pool to view the more details. And next is the how many tokens will be rewarded. So early stacking rewards is equal to the individual latest 1 hour valid stacking amount and the total pool stacking amounts and then the words multiply the hourly reward cap. Okay. Next is the how are the rewards distributed. The platforms will take the multiple snapshots of the personal stacking amounts hourly and the token rewards are distributed for the eligible users. Next is when will they take assets, stake assets or redeem. So that after the user redeem in advance, the stacking is completed. The stack assets will be the transferred to the simple earned by default. And next, the can redeem must stack assets at any time. Yes, the platforms will take the multiple snapshots of the personal stacking amounts each hour and the calculate the volume and next, can I add additional stack assets? So you can increase your stack assets at any time. So the more tokens you stack, the greater your financials mining rewards. And can I participate in the multiple projects at the same time? So when there are the multiple projects, launch pool projects going on the same time, so you can stack in the different pools to see the new tokens mining rewards for the multiple projects. Okay. Next is what is the maximum mining rewards I can receive. So the hourly reward cap per users for the each project is different. So once the cap is reached, no further stacking rewards will be granted. So next is the will stack assets in the gate launch pool. In fact, my VIP levels no asset stack in the gate launch pool will do not included in the assets holding the calculations for the hodler airdrops and launchpad and VIP privilege also. Next is what will happen to my funds in the if the project is ended early. So in case of early ending, your stack as principles will be the automatically treat them as soon as possible as the project is ended and your last interest will be distributed on the R after the end of the time. Next is about annual percentage rate APR. When the reward coin is the stack coin, APR is equal to the total reward released in the last hour is the divided by the last hour total stack and multiply 365, multiply 24, and multiply 100 times. And then when the rewards coin is not coin, so now the APR is equal to the total reward release in the last hour is to multiply by the closing price of the reward coin of the last hour and the multiply by the last hour its total stack is multiply closing price of the stack coins of the last hour is 365, 24, and 100 times. And next is the how to participate in the gate launch poll. So then I will tell you about this. So the Gate Launch Pool is an innovative stacking and airdrop platforms where users can stack GT, BTC, ETH, or other tokens to earn early airdrops of the hot new coins. And then how to join the Gate Launch Pool and the stack to earn. So to log into your Gate account and then navigate to the Launch Pool. Then you join from the app. Then go home and then click on the Launch Pool. If you participate from the web, then click on the R and then launch poll that choose stacking polls you want to join the click stack, and then enter the stacking amounts, click confirm, and complete the stacking. Is the view reward in the reward history after the successful stacking. There is the menu. You have to see it. So now you can see here how to participate in the Hootler airdrop. As long as your GT holdings in the Gate account is no less than one, you can participate and receive the airdrops without locking or stacking GT. Next is the which account GT holdings will be included in the calculation. So the total GT in a unified account, spot account, isolated margin account, and the copy trading account, goods account, and the financial account, and the payment accounts, and how are GT in the crypto loan and GT2 are excluded. And next is the how is your airdrops amount calculated. So the once you join the project, the systems will take the track your assets, GT holding, sorry, and then taking the multiple random snapshots every hour to calculate your average hourly holdings. Your final reward is based on your average holding. Next is what is the per GT. So per GT is an estimated value indicating the number of the airdrop tokens you can receive. You can receive by the participating in the hodler airdrop projects with a 1 GT and holding until the end of the projects. And next is why are my holdings counted differently across the project? So the system uses the random snapshots to calculate your average hourly holdings, and depending on when you join each project, the calculated average holdings may vary. And in theory, if your holding amount remains constant, your average hourly holdings should be the same across all projects you participate in. Next is what is the individual participation gap. So the different projects have the different individual participation gaps. So you can check the details based on the event announcements for the more information. And then can I participate in the multiple project at the same time? Yes, you can participate in the multiple project at the same time. Next is how will the airdrops work? So the airdrops will be calculated and distributed within 1 hour. Then after the project ends, you can check it anytime in the launch pool that Moodle airdrops and participation history. Okay. Okay. Finally, it's over now, and thank you for joining here, everyone. So who's and support me and drop your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks a lot, and kindly, I have to request it to all of you. Please kindly support me, follow me, and drop your thoughts in the comment section when I'm streaming. And also share my stream to your friends and family members. And please kindly go on my profile and then check out my post and drop your comments on there. And also like my post and share and follow me. Thank you for joining and take care of yourselves. May God give you success in every field of your lives. And good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and bye bye.